Oh no, that's good like that. Hello guys. Welcome to our review for The Incredibles. This is, of course, a one movie lead up to the release of Incredibles 2. Just like our reviews for Cars 1, 2, and 3, don't expect these reviews to be short.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
too.
like, this review isn't meant to be short. Um, with those
I
reviews,
know, I know that. You
they
told
were a
me.
bit more laid back, and some reviews I like some reviews I have to like keep it short and keep it to the point. Other reviews I just like to sit back and relax and talk about a movie without having to worry about the timestamp. So we are gonna get right into it though. With who wants to go first?
You can go first.
I will go first. Well, the first thing I noticed is that it's a very small thing, like almost insignificant. But this movie starts out with superheroes doing their business with Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone, and what's happening is this scene where Mr. Incredible is going after this robber, this thief, and then Elastigirl quickly comes into the scene because she's after the same guy. And then after that happens, after uh, Mr. Incredible is chained the robber up on the roof, we see Frozone just zoom past or whatever. We see him go past, and we see Mr. Incredible and him just saying, hi, like, what's going on, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then Frozone...
Remember that.
What's with that? Oh, yeah, I told you this before the review.
Yeah, but I didn't. I told you that I remembered it, but I actually didn't.
Anyway, it
But,
reminded
yeah,
me
now I remember.
of how big superhero movies in particular, and how big they are these days. And they weren't that big back then, but Pixar knew, I guess, that they would get so big to the point where they would just cross over. Because what was happening is Mr. Incredible was dealing with a robber, and then Frozone is chasing his own sort of villain or whatever. And then we cut back to Mr. Incredible saving a guy from suicide. Like, the Frozone and the helicopter isn't important. That's like sort of his own story. While Mr. Incredible is going through his own story by saving people. And it was really interesting. It made me think, like, what if they use that concept in a superhero movie once? Like, just one day, Iron Man is doing his thing. It's an Iron Man movie, or... okay, let's be more relevant. Let's say we are watching a Spider-Man movie, or an episode of Daredevil, and we see just one of them just swing past. Just no reason. Just swing past, or in the background, just swing past. Because realistically, sometimes superheroes just would cross over for no reason because of how big things are these days. Anyway, I thought it was a really clever thing.
DC sometimes do it.
Sometimes in books, not really in the. I guess sometimes a little bit in the movies, because in Wonder Woman, Bruce was like, "Here's that picture." Anyway, that was not important. Can you go like, give them a thought of yours?
I like how this movie is like. It's for the young crowd, but it also has, people's deaths and people crashing into walls and stuff, and I just like how it's not whoa. It's not just sorry
Oh.
it's not just for it's actually not just for children, and I get that now. It's actually like a family movie because it has a family in it, and you see a family, like a family. So I realized that it's not just a kids movie; it's also a family movie, and this is why I told Josh before. This is why this is my favorite kids movie, even though it's not like it's a kids movie, but it's a family movie included because people crash into walls and
Yeah.
death.
You guys have no idea how freezing it is in Australia at the moment. It's really cold. I am going to add to that thought that it is very mature. That there is some death, which is surprising. Like when I was watching this as a kid, I was like, I didn't really get it. I was just a kid and I took a lot of movies for granted. And now as an adult, 20 now, and I realize, oh shit, that's actually pretty mature for a kids movie, and it's not a bad thing. Like for example, some movies have really grotesque and disgusting humor in their movies. Transformers 2. And it's shit. It makes the movie shit, right? It just doesn't work. But this movie does it in such a way that it's sort of like it's maturing its audience, and I like that. Also, how the movie especially explores its superheroes. It reminded me a lot of Captain America: Civil War, right? How it explored the idea of them kind of being a nuisance to society, people suing them for basically having for basically being part of the cause of their shitty day, right? Just normal everyday citizens, just like going about their lives and then getting thrown into an action movie. So it's bringing realism.
You have to resign or whatever, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's bringing realism to a superhero movie that is meant for kids. It was now as an adult, like I've grown up with this movie, so it shouldn't be that shocking or surprising. But growing up as an adult, it is shocking and surprising that Pixar did it before Marvel. Think about that for a second. Pixar did that before Marvel. That's really good.
Josh actually told me this before. I realized that this movie actually came out in 2004 when I was born.
That's your point? Is that the only thing there about that?
No. It's just what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay. What else have you got?
Okay, I'm going on to my favourite characters now. One of my favourite characters, my all-time favourite characters in this movie is, Violet, which is the girl who has invisible powers. Okay. The reason why I like her is because not only that she has a really cool power, and she has, what is it? No, not vortexes.
Force fields.
Force fields. But not only that, I like her because she has a really, really, really positive like attitude, and
Does she though?
yeah, she does.
Like, it's a good point to make, but she's not always positive.
Not always, but okay, this is my point. When in the worst times, she's a very positive girl. So, like, she's shy, but she's also positive in the worst times. Like for instance, when they were locked up and she used her force fields to get them out of there, and she put a positive twist to it instead of being all mopey.
Wait, say that last bit again, so I can remember.
She used her force fields to get them out of there.
Out of what?
Out of the little trap thing. Remember they were all trapped up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, she was a bit... Yeah, that she'd been comedic there, yeah. Yeah,
she was being comedic.
Now I see where you're coming from. Can I say this one thing? I think it's... You told me you wrote it down. But I really like the relationship between Mr. Incredible and Frozone. They're like best buds.
Me? I wrote that down.
It's a jumping off point. You go now.
Yeah. Yeah, I like their friendship because. Okay, the reason why I like it, I didn't actually put this in my notes, but I like it because, I like their friendship because I feel like they've been, in the movie, it doesn't really show it, but I feel like they've been friends for a very, very long time, and I feel that because they're so close.
Just so you know, it does show that 15 years before when they were, when he was getting married, and Frozone had, hair, and then 15 years later, he doesn't have hair, they're all older, so you know, they've been friends for ages, and it's great. I like it. I love a good buddy friendship. I love a good friendship in a movie, any movie, whatever it is. Like Poe and Finn, those guys are best of buds. Anything like that, I just love it all the time. This is a very quick thought. I like how for a superhero movie, it felt like very much like an old spy movie. I don't know if anyone else thought that. If you're watching this, but it was the music was very spy-ish, spy-esque. Like it was like a Bond film, but for superheroes, and I really liked it. I don't really have a deep reason for it. I just like it.
They took the, I think you said, or I don't know.
They didn't with the music. They didn't take the whole thing. They took like little parts
of it,
out of it that anyone can like they took noticeable parts out of the Bond music and put it in their own and made their own version of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, really quickly, my I think I'm gonna finish. This is like my last thought, but I'm gonna finish up on this and then let you go. My favorite character is Jack. Jack. Going back and watching it, I was surprised myself to actually find myself liking Jack more than anyone because he's a baby. He is so cute, but not just that. Out of all of them, he's the one that has he's the most charismatic character, which is weird because he doesn't even speak. It's really weird, and that's why it was so surprising to me and even Sonia when I told her. She was like, "Really?" But I really liked him because he's a baby and he has so many great moments. Also, this might be a materialistic way to look at it, but it's because he has so many powers as well. He has so many abilities. I think that makes him an interesting character. And I have a theory for this. If they do make a third one, to really make the third one good, possibly better than any of the other previous ones, make Jack the villain. Go make him the villain and go deep into that. And dude, everyone will be crying. Anyway, is that it?
Didn't you forget one?
No, I'm done. Are you done?
The villain. You forgot that one.
I don't want to talk about the villain.
Why?
We're talking about the villain now. I'm not going to edit this part out. They can hear this part. But I don't want to talk about the villain. He's fine, but whatever. I mean, I don't think it was the best villain. I think they can do a lot better. I mean, we've seen a lot better before, but anyway.
But why?
Because I just don't want to. Now, what are we doing here?
Okay, fine. I'll go quickly on my favorite moments. With the first one is actually when we see Dash running on water. That bit I actually liked because the reason why I liked it is because I think Josh or someone said it to me, or Dad, I don't know, but they said to me that Dash is a child, and in DC, Flash can run on water as well. And it was just really amazing to me because he's a child and he can run on water, and Flash is an adult and he can run on water as well. So he's actually pretty fast.
Yeah.
So
me, my sister Sonia, and my dad Ian. You've seen him about twice on you've seen him once on my channel. You've seen him once in one video and heard his voice once in a podcast video. Anyway, we're all huge fans of that Flash show. It has good moments and then some not so good moments, but it's generally just a really good show. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. I mean, it has nothing to do with The Incredibles. Anyway, that was the Flash fan coming out just then.
Yeah, I love the Flash. But getting off the Flash, I like the bit where they all come together as a...
The family moment?
Yes, the family moment.
The family moment? You know the moment.
Wait, what moment?
The family moment.
I don't know the moment.
The moment you're talking about. The family moment. When they're all coming together and teaming up.
Oh, right, yeah, fighting.
That's the moment you were just talking about. And I was just saying. I was just talking about the same moment you were talking about. No, I wasn't talking about a different moment.
I'm sorry, I got confused. But
This is great for film, by the way. Anyway, are we nearly done?
Yes, we're nearly done. But I like them. I like that bit because I love how they don't just put it all in the fighting. They also put like Mr. Incredible before he goes away. He talks to the mum, and it's also not all about the fighting. It's also about the family.
It's character building is what
Yeah.
that's the term. That is called character building.
Yeah. And I just like how he was used to going off, but he didn't want to lose her again.
Yes, a lot of great moments. It's a good family drama as well as
You know what? All of the movies.
It's a good family drama as well as a good superhero movie in general.
Oh my gosh! I okay. Before I
Just so you know, we're about to hit 20 minutes. We have hit 20 minutes.
sorry, but one thing I gotta say is that with one thing, when Mr. Incredible picked up his car and the little kid on the little tricycle thing, he's funny. The little kid's really funny. I like him.
I want to see where they go with that kid too. Anyway, I'm going to end you. I'm going to stop you. This is the end of the review. I don't know. I kind of like doing this review. It's very laid back and a lot of...
Very funny. Very funny.
Yeah, I really like this review, guys. I don't know if you liked it.
Also like Frozen
anyway,
and his wife. Frozen and his wife.
Yeah, they're still arguing.
After 15 years.
We will see you in our review for The Incredibles 2 next week.
Bye.
Yes, see you then.